Shalom, family, and welcome back to my channel. Thursday, June 19th, in Ota City, Tokyo, Japan, we have a fight for the welterweight WBO title. That bout will be featuring Brian Norman Jr. versus Jin Sasaki. March 29th, 2025, at the Fontainebleau, Las Vegas, Brian Norman Jr. faced Puerto Rican opponent Derek Cuevas, an opponent who had never been stopped nor dropped. This was Brian's first title defense. He stopped Cuevas in the third round with a jab. Brian Norman Jr., known as the Assassin 2, is 27-0 with 21 knockouts. He's a 24-year-old Orthodox fighter out of Georgia, USA, with a 72-inch reach. When we speak of Brian Norman Jr., without question, the first thing to be spoken of is his power. But this fighter has way more in his toolbox than power in both hands. He also has good speed. He knows how to work behind a jab, followed up with combinations, accurate combinations. He's got that. Footwork, a great IQ, and an excellent work rate. He's got that. As I have stated before, when I spoke to Brian Norman Jr. and what I saw in my breakdown against him versus Cuevas, the only thing that I felt then that Brian Norman Jr. was deficient in, and deficient is not a great word. There's really not a word that I could use, because I do not feel he's totally lacking much of anything. It was the simple fact that I felt his defense could be greater. But the thing is, we have yet to see him deficient defensively. Does he get hit? Absolutely. All fighters get hit. Now, up until a point, it was argued that Brian Norman was not that guy. All due to the Janelson Boca Chica, what I call a flash knockdown. And a lot of people wanted to see a rematch because of this. They questioned that. But the thing we know about Boca Chica is he is quick, and he too can punch. And when you consider how he hit Brian on the chin, it's not a surprise that he had a flash knockdown. But Brian Norman got up and continued to fight until there was a cut that stopped that fight. But the true test, when you truly consider this man and his resume, if you want to question, the true test would have came with the Giovanni Santillan fight. In that fight, Brian Norman was set to lose, as I feel he is with this one. But he showed everyone something. This man has heart. He has grit. He has the ability to adjust. And through that storm, he is calm. Not a lot of fighters have that resolve. He is the WBO World Welterweight Champion. He is my champion. He is your champion. He is our US WBO World Welterweight Champion. Now, on the night of March 29th, 2025, after his third round stoppage of Derek Cuevas, during Bryan giving post-fight comments to the press and the media, he was interrupted, we'll say, with a letter of intent from one Mr. Jin Sasaki. Jin Sasaki, coming out of Hachioji, Tokyo, Japan. He's a 23-year-old orthodox fighter. His record 19-1-1 with 17 knockouts. That one loss coming by way of knockout. He received his one loss by none other than Andy Hirioka in 2021. Jin has speed, Jin has power, and he also has a very good jab. But Sasaki is a whole character and a wildling oftentimes, throwing with reckless abandon in order to land heavy blows. When he throws the jab, his chin is exposed. He switches between an open high guard and crossbody with lots of holes. His footwork is interesting, always a wide base, rarely ever bringing his feet together, which may be wise, as his reckless style would definitely cause balance issues. Surely by being so heavy on the front foot, leaning into his opponent, chin nearly, if not passing his lead knee, he attempts to draw fighters into his fight, which is an inside firefight. His comfort range seems to be mid to inside, where he can throw looping 3 through 6s, as well as uppercuts. You all know how I feel about looping shots. In his last fight against Shoki Sakai, Jin got Sakai to fight his inside fight when Sakai was having greater success, I believe, on the outside, keeping Jin at bay. I also noticed Sasaki continuously circled into Jin's power hand. The last few things I will say with the wildling Jin is he absolutely wants to get his feet planted to get his work off, even if it's planting before throwing a leaping right overhand. He's trying to get his opponents to the ropes as well, throwing his barrage of looping shots, often and most times squaring up. In my search for film and information on Jin Sasaki, I found that Team Sasaki employed the help of welterweight Peter Dobson for this camp, according to True School Sports, who's also responsible for setting up that arrangement. Also, while on Drew Titan's show one evening, Brian Norman Sr. did say that there is no drug testing in Japan. And many of us have obviously felt that that was the case. But I just also found it interesting that people in Japan say this about Jin and his camp, apparently. When the dust settles, I have Brian Norman Jr. as the winner by knockout. As of right now, I do not have the round, but I believe it will be an early round, as Jin is a dangerous opponent, and I do not believe Brian will be there to play with him. And I will just say this: I hope with this particular individual that he stays extremely on his defensive. I absolutely do not trust Jin Sasaki Even in everything that I broke down about his style here, I, one, do see growth in him, and two, I see a little bit of a magician. A magician in the sense that there just may be something that lies beneath the surface that we cannot see. With that all being said, I thank you for watching. Please like, please share, and please subscribe. And most importantly, keep your head on a swivel and be blessed.
Best believe that. You best believe that. Not just a champ, a future legend in the game. You know what I'm saying? It's the Byron Norman Show now. So now y'all better come out and see me.